But ultimately, the Moorish legacy came as a means of fighting back against that when all hope was lost. And that started with the whole idea of giving us the gene for passion so that we could be self-aware instead of just being mindless drones pushing buttons, pulling levers, and following orders all the time, like good obedient slaves. Once that gene for passion was introduced into the collective gene pool, out of that started coming, let's say, the Vril power, the Christ energy, the Temple of Solomon. And I describe it symbolically as when that gene for passion passed through the Temple of Solomon, by the time it came out the other side, it was known as the Passion of the Christ, and that's where that term comes from. The gene for passion, passion of the Christ energy. That's what all that's about. It centers around the Temple of Solomon, which is a symbolic and spiritual thing that represents the major Christs. Each one coming along served as a master architect, building on another wing onto the Temple of Solomon, symbolically speaking. The Moorish legacy comes out of that as the legacy or the lineage of that Christ energy or that Vril power or the Temple of Solomon. And that is something that does and always did truly aggravate the opposing side of it, which I refer to as the Grand Masonic Lodge or the Iron Hand of Oppression, because they're all about, well, how can I control that chunk of real estate? How can I manipulate it? How can I manipulate the slaves that are walking on it? Well, Temple of Solomon's not a piece of real estate, and that aggravates the living hell out of them because there's no way they can target it directly. So what do? You target it indirectly. Temple is a esoteric and symbolic ancient reference to the body, the human body. Solomon breaks down as Sol Om On, which on is spirit, Om is frequency, Sol is light. It's the light and sound that brings the frequency to awaken the beast. That's what the name Solomon means. When you combine that with Temple, which is the human body, that's the reference to the beast being awakened via Sol Om On, Solomon. So knowing they can't target it directly, they'll target it indirectly by destroying the human condition, and therefore destroying the Temple of Solomon in an indirect way, or at least attempting to.